Yes, guys, hello and welcome back to another Spurs-related YouTube video and podcast. I hope everyone's doing very well today. Today, we've got an exciting idea for you, brought to you all the way from Canada. It's Andre's idea. We are going to be ranking the top 10 Tottenham managers, the last 10 Tottenham managers in a tier list. And I'll leave Andre to explain a little more, but it should be exciting. And guys, get involved in the comments. Who was your favourite last manager? Some hard ones to pick between, but maybe our stats and analysis will help you decide. Andre, over to you.
Perfect. So we're going to get started on something a little bit more creative in here. Differing opinions possibly between James and I, differing opinions with you guys. So please drop in the comments what you think of these specific players that we're about to rank right now. The last 10 managers that managed Tottenham. None to trophies from what I remember. But here we go. First up that we got, we're going to start right away with Harry Redknapp. Now, I'll admit this was a little bit before my time, before I was a Tottenham fan. So I only mainly have stats to look at. But James, please tell me, where would you rank Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp came in to a Tottenham side struggling, actually just within the relegation zone, actually, I believe, in around about 2008-09 season. He took over from our actual last manager, I believe, that won us a trophy. I could be wrong, but I'm just brainstorming here, which I think is Juan de Ramos put us right at the bottom of the Premier League. He came in, and Harry Redknapp did such a good job. Within the year, he put us into a top 4 side, with a side that had a lot of superstar players coming through, the likes of Luka Modric, the likes of Gareth Bale, and he really did revolutionise Tottenham into this kind of club that was lucky to get top 8 to a team that was getting top 4 consistently. Pretty consistently throughout the 2010 era towards the 2011-12, and then he departed Tottenham in 2012, and things got a little bit more rusty. But for me, actually a very good manager, likable. I love Harry Redknapp. I think he's a great guy. I would put Harry Redknapp in the A grade. I really would.
The A grade, why not the S grade exactly? I personally think if he did all of that, he's got 188 matches, 98 wins, like that's 1.73 points per game. That's pretty good.
I think super S, I guess, means superstar, right? And they have to have literally, maybe even taken us as far as finals, for example. Harry Redknapp obviously took us quite far in the Champions League. I think we got to the quarterfinals at one point and lost to Real Madrid. I think Adebayor got sent off. No, Adebayor scored. Who got sent off for us? I can't remember. It was someone at the back. It might have even been Adebayor. But listen, I think there is one better manager than him, even though it's going to hurt me to say it later in the video.
Okay. Well, we're moving on to Boas. Andre Villas Boas, the one who came right after Harry Redknapp. He was sacked. Please take me through it. What exactly happened between Redknapp that then ended up bringing Boas to the club?
So Andre Villas Boas, for me, is a manager that straight away there's one player that comes to mind. There was one player that comes to mind when he just absolutely took the world by stage in that 2012-13 season. It was an absolute joy to watch. And that was Gareth Bale. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal watching Gareth Bale under Andre Villas Boas. I have so many memories growing up of Harry Kane Harry Kane crumbs. Gareth Bale just absolutely smashing it from 40 yards like every week. There was a memorable moment, Tottenham v West Ham at the old Upton Park, where Gareth Bale scored 2 late goals and we won 3-2. And I just remember Gareth Bale going over to Andre Villas Boas. It's quite an iconic moment. And just moments like that, Andre Villas Boas, 1.91 points per game, pretty good ratio. I believe it's actually our best managerial ratio out of all competitions put together of any other Tottenham manager. So, yeah, I would go with Andre Villas Boas here as probably being, although he's actually got the best points, I think he came into a team which was very good at the time. So I'm going B.
B tier, but why? I mean, actually, he lasted only like a season and a half. What happened?
Yeah, things went a bit sour. Things went a bit wrong. And the results started plummeting. But I think for the moments he produced, I think if he didn't have Gareth Bale, he'd probably be like a C or a D. But it was
Oh,
I always associate the managers with the moments at Tottenham, and that was the Gareth Bale, prime era before he went to Real Madrid for like £80 million. So I would go for Andre Villas-Boas, B/C, but I think B is fair, and maybe people will disagree with me in the comments, but it'd be nice to see what you guys are thinking on this one.
fair enough. Good. We'll go for B then. Moving on to Tim Sherwood, who lasted about 6 months, I think. He managed 26 matches, 13 wins, 1.65 win ratio, points per game. Please take me through what happened here.
Yeah, so again, like I always associate players with managers in their era, especially if it's a shorter era. And it's Adebayor. He brought in Adebayor and put him as a starting striker. It was a very strange time as a Spurs fan. And Adebayor actually thrived under him. He scored a good amount of goals. He was up there with the top scorers in the league at the time. And for me, Tim Sherwood is an iconic moment where he like salutes Adebayor in a game. You guys probably know in the comments what I'm talking about, but he wasn't a very, very experienced manager, and that's reflective now that he hasn't even had a managerial job for a few years. So I'd put Tim Sherwood in C.
C tier. Okay. So even though he lasted 6 months, you'd still give him average.
It was a bit of a caretaker role, to be fair, this one. So it was just pretty average. I can't remember where we actually finished that season. Maybe someone in the comments can say, but I think we did sneak Champions League. Did we sneak Champions League or Europa League? I can't remember, but yeah, it was. He did all right for when he came in. I remember that.
Right. Okay. Well, just like the small amount of time that Tim Sherwood spent at Tottenham, that's all we have for Tim Sherwood in this video. So let's move on. We got the next one, Pochettino. Big name. Everyone knows him. He was there for many seasons, took a huge project. We haven't really been able to get a project as long-term as him since, have we?
We haven't, and I can't see us having a long-term manager like that for many years again. Hopefully Ange is the one, but let's see. Where do I start with Pochettino? This guy was like my second father, right?
Wow.
And he's completely and utterly stabbed us in the back. In my opinion, a lot of people will say, it's a job at the end of the day, but he even came out in interviews and said that Chelsea are Tottenham's main rival along with Arsenal. And he has said he wanted to go back to Tottenham. He's burnt all those bridges and he's gone to our arch rivals, Chelsea, obviously Arsenal as well, but Chelsea he's gone to, and it hurts because, we have such fond memories of Pochettino. I think it's probably for most fans under the age of 50 would say it's their favourite ever Tottenham manager until what's happened. But let's focus on his tenure rather than what's happened now. Mauricio Pochettino has been hands down our best manager since Bill Nicholson. I don't think anyone can argue with that. What he did for the club and taking us to the Champions League final, taking us to many finals. Yes, we didn't go over the line. And I think that's what is the most painful bit about it all, about that 5-year tenure. But 1.84 points per game, got us Champions League most seasons when he was in charge. It was a phenomenal time to be a Tottenham fan. We played some incredible attacking football, which hopefully we'll see again with Ange Postecoglou. But I have to say it, as he is my favourite and he is the best ever Tottenham manager since Bill Nicholson. With all that trophy, people will mock it if they're not supporting Tottenham in the comments. But he's our best manager, so I have to put him in S.
You know what? I have to disagree on one tiny thing. He did win us a trophy that not even Messi or Ronaldo have, and it's the Audi trophy. So I'm going to put him in S here.
God's sake. You had that one lined up. But yeah, I mean, do you put him in S?
Oh, yeah. He's going in S, 100%. I think that he... you summed it up nicely, but yeah, I mean, it was an exciting time to become a Tottenham fan, and it was right around the time when I became a Tottenham fan. We had exciting players. He was making exciting signings and making them play very attractive football. So definitely the club has not been the same since he left. even with the big profile managers we've signed. But speaking of big profile managers, let's move on to what happened right after, like maybe a couple days after Pochettino was sacked. We brought in the big man himself, Jose Mourinho. Now, personally for me, this one's very interesting because I have always said, had we not sacked him when we did, I think he would have won us the Carabao Cup. So, but I'll leave it to you. What are your thoughts?
I don't know about that one, man. I really don't know about that one. But in terms of Jose Mourinho, I love Jose Mourinho. People will disagree in the comments again. Let us know. But I hate his style of football. I love the man, and he got us 7th place in that season in COVID. He then got sacked for that Carabao Cup final, so I think it's unfair to say, he was unsuccessful in terms of trophies. He always says he won half a trophy, doesn't he, in his interviews, right?
Yep. Exactly.
But I would put Mourinho. It's difficult, maybe between B and C, but I think I'm going to go C based on the fact that he didn't win anything. But it's harsh. It's
really
harsh. And I can't. I wish he would have been backed properly. A bit like the Conte situation. I'm going to repeat myself for the Conte bit, but I wish he was backed and given a fair chance. And he wasn't. So C.
See, that's interesting because I was going to give him A. I think
A. What?
Yeah.
Please explain.
Okay, I think for the backing he had, which is very minimal, he did a lot with this team. Okay, first of all, I don't think I've ever seen Harry Kane and Son produce the amount of goal contributions and goals in general that they did without other than during his reign. I also think that he would ask for players and we got B-Tech, C-Tech versions of them, right? He asked for Skriniar, we got Joe Rodon. He was looking for, who are we looking for? He asked for Ruben Diaz. We didn't get anybody else after that. He was looking at Meunier and things like that, and we got Doherty. All these players. Oh, we were looking at Fernandez, and they brought the wrong one. Jedson Fernandez. No offense. I'm just saying,
Jedson Fernandez.
I'm just saying, for the backing we had, he was doing very well with this club, and he was using the tools he was given, even if they weren't that strong. But he did use the ones that were strong to the best of their abilities. And I think that Harry Kane and Son have not been that linked since Mourinho was there. And Man City didn't beat us once, and that's who we probably could have beat in the Carabao final. So I'm going to give him an A. But since this is it's both of our opinions here, let's average it out to a B.
Okay, fair enough.
So he got sacked. That was unfortunate. It was a long process to find a new manager. And then we brought the GOAT himself, Nuno. So let's talk about it.
We're going to make you proud. F.
Really? I personally think he started out pretty strong. He had 3.
What, for 3 games? Don't wind me up on this video. Do not wind me up on this video.
I'm just saying, he started pretty well. I think the problem was, first of all, okay, we took so long to find a proper manager, right? We had discussions with multiple managers, and then we ended up with this guy, which, no one wants to be sloppy seconds, let alone sloppy 37th, I think it was, something like that. I think Levy was pushing some sort of style that wasn't Nuno's style, and it didn't work out because of those reasons. No one wants to have that kind of pressure on them. No one wants to be somewhere where people don't want them to be there, right? So I think it was one of those things where the minute that Daniel Levy saw a little bit of a slip up, he just got rid of him. So personally for me, I'd give him a C.
No way. No way. He is our worst manager out of all of these ones. Actually, Stellini. Put him straight in F. I don't even want to talk about him. Put him straight in F now.
We can't skip. We can't skip the process. Trust the process. Okay? We're on Nuno right now. You know what? We're gonna have to average him out to B.
That is ridiculous. He's got to go in F, and Stellini's got to go in F.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So that's a D. Let's move on to the guy who we originally wanted, Antonio Conte. Take it away, James. What are your thoughts?
It's a similar story to Mourinho, although he was probably backed more. He was given more, but then again, not enough. Richarlison, very weird signing under Conte, I thought. And other signings questionable. But he was a bit of a miracle maker in his first season, getting us top 4 with that team, with like Ben Davies at left centre back, pretty incredible. So he made an average team get top 4, and I think that deserves a lot of credit. Yes, it went downhill at the end, and his style of football made me never want to go to a game. But I'm gonna give him you've got to put him on level with Mourinho, so it's a B.
All right. You know what? I would agree. For most fans out there, I'll let you know. Seeing Antonio Conte manage the Tottenham team, that's the first time that I got to see Tottenham live. I went all the way to England and got to see 2 games. I think one was a loss against Newcastle and the other one was a tie. So it was unfortunate. And yeah, the games were a little boring. Can't lie. But he did take an average team, made a few signings that were on the cheap side, and got them to a top 4. And then things got way out of hand. He pulled it's the history of the Tottenham part 2 speech and then pieced out. So I can't give him any higher than B, to be honest. It's a style that I don't know if it would even work in the Premier League anymore. And it looks like it's easy to figure out, I guess. So yeah, I would say B, almost close to a C, but I'd give him a B. He did all right. He did all right. But right after he got sacked, we decided the most genius choice of all time is to give it to his assistant manager to take over, Cristian Stellini. And I got to say right now, this man gave me a game that traumatized me for a while. So I'm going to put him in F. That Newcastle game was an abomination. And I turned off my TV after 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, F. Honestly, a joke.
Did you think that he was going to
talk about it?
But did you think he was going to do well? That's what I need to know.
No, he's Conte's twin. No, I didn't. We got rid of Conte and left his like experiment. Do you know what I mean? Like we left his like lab brother. Like
his lab brother? Yeah.
He had been cloned. It was like Conte was Stellini still. Like Stellini was Conte still. Like what's the point? He still had the same values, the same style of football, the same ethos. If you're going to sack a manager, the whole of the backroom staff has to go. And that's simple as that.
Well, I mean, when when Conte was being sent off or when he was injured, Stellini did all right. So I was a little hopeful at least, but oh my God, that backfired real hard.
Yeah.
All right. So we did skip one person who did sort of come in for a little bit of time when Mourinho was out. But we decided to leave him right till the end because he also had to take over when Stellini was sacked after 6 days. So let's talk about him. Ryan Mason, a former Tottenham player who was, I guess he was injured, a career-ending injury. He's been in the back room for a long time, flipping from role to role. And he's been interim manager twice now, while when Tottenham, I guess, decides to sack a manager and they have no one lined up. So give me your thoughts on Ryan Mason.
He gets thrown in the deep end every time when shit basically hits the fan at the club. He came in, got the boys with a bit of a lift after Stellini basically sucked any kind of life out of them. Comes in, I believe one of his first games was Man United at home. We came back from 2-0 down and got a 2-2, and it was the best football we'd played all season up till that point, which says an awful lot because it was it wasn't even that exciting, but it was a 2-2 comeback. And yeah, other than that, I don't even think he won another game after that, did he? So, it was just, I was just praying for the season to end every weekend. It was draining even thinking about Tottenham, let alone trying to talk about it. So, um, it's pretty much level with Sherwood, although Sherwood probably actually did a little bit more. So I'd probably go between C and a D for Mason. He's just not got the experience, bless him. I love the guy. I think he's a great guy, but I think he needs to go somewhere else to progress as a manager. Maybe like a championship team or a League One team and progress. Starting at the top in the Premier League is a very difficult feat. So yeah, that would be my inexperienced advice to him. But the club, the players were ready to end the season. So I'd go like, as a manager, C or a D because he's got a lot more to learn. But I don't think he's Nuno level, but it's like Nuno's more experienced, but it's different. So between a C and a D, I'll let you decide which way.
All right. I think I'm going to give him a C based on all of the context around this. I think it is incredibly terrible that they threw him in the deep end, sink or swim, no life jacket, nothing to help him stay afloat, by giving him the Carabao Cup final as the first game that he had to really play. Or was it the first game? It was, right? Or was it the second? One of those.
Yeah, that was the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Like that is, and I think that he took it like a champ. He tried his best. We only lost 1-0. It wasn't like we got destroyed. It was off a corner too, and we were notorious for set pieces and corners. So, I mean, you know what? And he's tried his best. And every time that he's been called upon, he's gone up there and tried to hold his chin up high and try and motivate the team with players who are older than him. So, good for him. I'd give him a C for effort.
There you go. Fair enough. Pop him in C.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think if he does want to go into that manager role, he does need to start at a lower league. And what a great way to get a job, having Tottenham in your resume already as a manager.
Yeah, fair enough. But I guess also the points per game suggested it was only, well, it was off a small basis, right? But his points per game is like 1.1. So,
yeah, not very good. But like you said, every time it was just a matter of sort of, you would say, in a crisis mode, we brought him back in. So I think he did the best what he could with a low morale team, low morale club, low morale fans, and just held it out for us. So, good for you, man.
Yeah, exactly that. That was enjoyable, Andre. Good idea. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash a thumbs up on the video. Comment your thoughts on Tottenham's last, I think it was 9 managers, not 10. Last 9 managers. And
technically 9, but he was in it twice, so that's why I said 10. A little sneaky
okay.
there.
Got it. That clarifies that. But yeah, guys, smash the like, smash the subscribe. Let us know what you think. And if you want more videos that are a little bit more creative like this, not to do with the current Tottenham setup and news, but a little bit more of a fun video for you guys on a Saturday. We're actually recording this on the Friday, but putting it out on the Saturday. Andre, nice work. Thanks as always, mate.
Oh yeah, I'm always happy to talk Tottenham. Sometimes it is okay to talk about other things other than what's happening, the stresses of it. Let's just have a little bit of fun,
Yeah, that's it. And as always, guys, remember, come on, you Spurs!